Peter Rofner, thank goodness. We need you badly. It's a weird year weather-wise, Peter, from Richmond Nurseries, by the way. And a lot of people talking about pests in the garden and what to do to control them, right? And is this a weird year or a more active year for it?
I've noticed a lot of fungus this year, and we've been quite diligent to try and. Fungus is one of those things you really have to be preventative, because once it hits, it's hard to really get it under control.
Yeah.
So that's been a big thing, and we have seen quite a few people coming with a lot of caterpillars and stuff like that.
I see.
So it's all a matter of observation, right? You have to look at your plant, and if there's something strange.
Okay, what am I looking for?
Okay.
You're talking to an herbal idiot, really, is what we're talking about here.
All right, well, let's start with something easy. That's this tomato. Yeah. See, that's a leaf here?
Oh, yeah.
You're getting these weird spots.
Okay.
Okay, and you get that yellowing. That's one of the tomato blights.
Oh,
okay. So that's what we've seen a lot, and some plants will get wiped out. I talked to one grower, he lost most of his tomato crop from that.
From this right here?
This right here.
Is there anything you can do for that?
Yeah, there is. I mean, there's now, this is something they have, it's relatively new. It's called a biofungicide. So it's actually a bacteria that colonizes on the plant, and it stops the fungus from happening.
Okay.
And we've experimented with it. We used it in the greenhouse preventative and the strawberries, and it's not 100% control, but it's enough suppression that the plant can kind of
somewhat thrive, and you can at least get a yield of some sort, right? So you're going to lose a percentage, but you're going to otherwise it's 100%.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So this is an impatient. Now this is a weird thing that's happening. You can see how it's kind of yellowing and falling.
Yeah.
There's a strain last year of downy mildew that started hitting Niagara and wiped out their impatience.
Okay.
And it looks like it's moving in this area. Now unfortunately with the impatience, there's not much you can do. Once we saw it, we just got rid of the whole crop, because it's better to do that than let it spread.
Right, exactly.
So, but you can see it's starting to hang funny, it's defoliating, you're getting things like that. So that's a good sign that there's something. In this case, there's not much to do.
Yeah.
Now this one, this is Nicotiana, only the lonely. But if you look under the leaves, okay, you can see.
What are those?
I've
seen that on plants before.
Exactly. There's a lot of aphids on there.
Oh.
And what's interesting too, what we do in the greenhouse, we have a parasitic wasp that goes in, and he parasitizes some aphids. So you turn these little brown mummies.
Okay.
So now outside, this probably wouldn't be a big deal, because the plant's quite vigorous. It's an annual. The rain washes a lot of it off when you do have the rain, or spritzing it with water helps to keep it under control. Roses, for example, you might want to deal with it and use some insecticidal soap or something to get that down.
Okay.
But it's always a matter of observation, looking at the plant closely, because when you were standing here, you didn't see it.
I didn't. I honestly, I looked at the top of the things, and for someone who isn't in the garden a lot, I look at it and I think, okay, I wouldn't even think about the spots. And then looking up close, you realize that is not natural for that plant.
Exactly. So it's all a matter of observation, going through regularly and looking for something that looks strange.
What about insects themselves?
Well, the aphids are an insect, of course.
So, yes, of course.
So that's
when we're talking about, like for instance, I see over here you've got something for praying mantis.
Yeah. Well, these are beneficial insects, right? So a praying mantis is an insect that will eat any other insect around.
Which is great. Spiders
is.
are great for that too.
Exactly.
Right.
And they'll eat spiders too, mind you. We watched one in the greenhouse. It was quite fascinating. But yeah, you get these egg sacs, and you can hang it in your garden, and then as they hatch, they're going to go through your garden and start mowing down on.
So they're like cops.
Yeah,
cops for your garden. They're walking through and busting the criminals.
Yeah. And if you've ever heard of nematodes for your garden, a nematode is a microscopic worm. And there's different strains of them that'll eat different things. So they have one that works with iris borer and rose chafer. There's now one for burst leaf miner. There's one for ants now. So all these things, the application is really touchy. So you really got to follow the directions very carefully.
Okay, what can go wrong?
Well,
if you overdo it?
What would go wrong is it won't work.
Okay.
Simple as that.
All right.
Okay, so
good enough.
To make it work, you really have to watch the directions very closely.
What do we got over here, these little bottles?
This is your traditional fungicide defender, which is a lime sulfur, this one.
Okay.
Neem oil is an interesting one because it's a leaf shine, but it tastes bad to bugs, so they don't tend to eat as much.
Oh, okay.
So it's not an insecticide, but
they don't love it.
It kind of keeps things under control. Endol is one of these things for the inside. You're not allowed to use it outside, but it works for your indoor plants.
Okay.
Especially if you see white fuzzy things on your plants.
Good to know.
Those are really bad inside.
Last question as we head to break. I just want to know about this hot weather. Obviously, watering your plants is key.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we can do to help against this? Or is that the big deal?
That's the big thing, because it's like us. If we're stressed out, we're going to get sick easier.
Okay.
So keeping your plants healthy is going to reduce the disease pressure.
And
so keep them healthy.
With this dry weather, like there's no humidity in the air in the last few days anyway, and the soil in my house is like becoming dust bowl-y. So you have to consistently water.
You do, and the other thing, believe it or not, it's kind of counterintuitive. If you cultivate the soil, you'll conserve moisture.
Is that right? If you turn it and
turn it. Because what happens is you get the big cracks, and then the water evaporates from down low. When you cultivate the soil, you break that top surface, and you actually conserve moisture. So it seems counterintuitive.
But it actually seals the top.
Yeah,
and
so you can cultivate it and then put some mulch on top, and that'll conserve moisture.
He knows his stuff. Peter Rofner from Richmond Nursery. Very cool tips for a weird year, really, of weather and bugs. Defend your garden.